In our office, this is where the most money is made. I take real estate newbies, people have no real estate license, no real estate experience, they've never even set an appointment, and I make a ton of money with them right here. What we do is we do something called the No One Left Behind Challenge, where I teach newbies to set appointments for me. This is how it works. Pretty cool. Somebody that's green, right? Somebody that's a newbie, no license, no experience, never done anything in real estate. What I do is I teach them how to set appointments for me, and I close those deals. I become the closer in those situations. You guys might have seen some of these calls over the last couple of months. And what I do is I close, negotiate, follow up, and I have some of the most difficult conversations over the last half a year of me doing this challenge. By the way, if you want to join the No One Left Behind Challenge, there's a link down below. If you want to get into this room and be on my team, maybe get your first deal, there's a link down below. However, this video is all about, out of the last 90 calls that I've done, our team and our YouTube subscribers have told us which 3 are their favorite. And so these are the top 3 best calls that I've made over the last 90. Hopefully they help you understand how to pitch creative finance, how to navigate conversations with real estate agents, and how to build a relationship with these real estate agents so that you can build a business based on referrals and them sending you deal after deal after deal. I hope this gives you value, and please tell me down in the description down below, what was the biggest takeaway today in this video? By the way, give us a little like and subscribe. Enjoy the video.
Hi, this is
Paige Pace, how you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. Calling about the house on Cedarbrook Lane. Did my team set an appointment for us to chat?
Yeah. You just have to mind me. I'm in my car.
Heck yeah.
Taking school and all that stuff.
That's my favorite part of my day is 9 o'clock in the morning, dropping the girls off, and 12 o'clock getting them back. It's the best.
Yes.
That's awesome. So the house on Cedarbrook, what's the status? You guys getting offers or kind of just sitting?
No, it's been sitting in my clients. You have to hold on one second. I have to order my daughter something.
Heck yeah, better be Chick-fil-A.
It's actually Cane's chicken.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, take your time. I'm here. Dang, good thing I'm following the script. I would have been lost if it was.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it's been sitting there. They're a military family. They bought this house 3 years ago, and they move every 3 years, so probably wasn't a wise idea. They owe $316, $789 on the property.
Okay, and they've got a good rate on it, I imagine. So I imagine you probably got some good Subto offers.
We get a lot of Subto offers. I actually probably almost every other day I get one of those.
What's kept you from selling it that way?
So, my broker says they don't allow subject to.
Who's they? Is that your broker?
Yes.
I'm going to make a joke, but it's kind of 10% serious. Why not change brokers? That's what's sad.
Yeah, actually I am. I am searching brokers after this listing closes to work with somebody, to partner with somebody else at EXP.
Heck yeah, I love EXP. I'm speaking in Cabo for the biggest EXP downline. I think EXP is great. That's a good choice.
Yeah, so I'm not opposed to it. I'm still, still fresh in the real estate world of maybe three years and under.
Love it.
So I've done a deal like this before.
Can I give you a suggestion? Make it easy so you can spend time with your kids for a little bit?
Yeah.
Here's what I think we should do. I think you should go to your seller and say, hey, I found a good buyer. I'll even meet them in person. I'll meet you in person. It sounds like they've deployed somewhere else, which is cool.
Yes.
I will walk you through the transaction, me and my transaction coordinators. I'll meet you at the title company. I'll show you how this all works legally and how to do it properly. And I'll also show you how I can, if I buy the house, I can even show you, if you choose to do so, this is up to you, I can get you paid outside of escrow so you're not violating anything with your broker. That's up to you, but I can show you how to do all that.
Okay, I mean, I was even willing just to release them from the listing.
Heck no! Let's get you paid.
She's actually a friend of mine.
What if you release the listing, I buy the house direct, I pay you a consultation fee or something like that?
Yeah, I'm willing to do whatever is the best interest for my clients just to help them get this off of their plate and move on.
Do you want to text her and say, hey, I've got a decent buyer. You want to get on a phone call and chat about me taking over the mortgage and putting some money in your pocket and theirs?
Yeah. Have you sent me a letter of intent before with like the numbers? Because they want me to kind of call them and give them a little lowdown of what it looks like, and then they're ready to talk to somebody.
Here's what I'll tell everybody. Getting on a call with me helps me align with what I want and what they want.
Okay.
And if I send numbers, there's no soul in numbers.
Got it.
If they're going to sell a house subject to, they should know my soul and I should know what they're trying to accomplish. And I promise you, every single time they'll walk away going, that was a really great call, even if we don't do the deal.
Okay. Could we set up something for tomorrow? Because she's a nurse.
Heck yeah. Find out what time works and then just send me a text and we'll figure it out. I can do any time tomorrow between 3 and 7 tomorrow.
Okay. And this is your phone number right here. Good.
You're awesome. Appreciate you.
You too. Have a great day.
Bye. Okay, so what are the things we learned on this call?
Brokers,
Agents are out there struggling to survive, and they're sitting there going, my broker won't let, are you kidding me? Switch to a broker that wants you to make money. Gosh damn. Isaac Santana, I just want to say you took the greatest takeaway away from that call. I created the pace.
From the minute you got on the phone with her.
Yep, I go, I know you're busy, da-da-da, cool, great. Before you go, look, can I da-da-da, da-da-da, boom. All right, see ya. That whole call was 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I also leaned into what I have, be yourself. I've got kids too, I know how to pick up kids from school, and I know that that's the most important part of the day.
Connecting on EXP, like saying, hey, I'm gonna go do this thing here. I have the same connection. You're gonna go work for them?
Bing.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Similarity, what do you connect on?
Then I said, also she says, can you send me numbers on paper?
Yeah, that was great.
I love that. That was so good.
By the way, I've never said that in my life. And so I go, look, if they're going to sell the house subject to, I've never said that. I have line after line after line after line after line after line after line. I go, we'll come up with another 50 of them before the end of the week. Can you send me numbers? I go, yeah, you know what? There's no soul in numbers. And if they're going to sell a house subject to and let somebody take over their mortgage, they should probably know the soul of the buyer. She's like, damn.
Just be on a shirt.
Mic drop.
Yeah, perfect. So there's another way to overcome that. Now, here's the sad thing. People, there's so many objections that popped up in these last 3 or 4 calls that people don't even realize that there are objections because I handle them so perfectly.
They're not. You clear them up.
Yeah, people make, they said that, what if they don't get a... Well, if you're not bringing up the problem before they bring it up, then you're letting them create a mountain into a molehill. That's why a lot of times I'll say, can I bring up this? Can I do this? Can I tell you such and such? You guys aren't allowed to laugh when I'm on the phone. Hey, is this...
Yes.
Hey, you cut out right at the beginning, so I'm sorry. I just want to double check. This is Pace. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Sounds like this house you guys got, you guys already have a sub 2 offer on it. Is that correct?
Which?
The one on 188.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a sub 2.
What's keeping the seller from moving forward on that one? Is there any way I can still wedge myself in there and get the deal?
How do you know anything about this?
You talked to Monica yesterday, and
I didn't speak with Monica yesterday.
Yes, he spoke to me and he said that he already had a sub 2 offer.
Oh yeah, can you hear her right now?
Uh-huh.
She's like, you did talk to me.
I talked to you last night. Remember you were in a board meeting?
Ralph thought I was reading his mind.
Why? I must have been so involved in that meeting.
What's the board meeting about? Was it something cool? Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So, let me see.
So your buyer, the buyer that you currently have, doesn't want to pay the 2% commission?
No.
Well, no. What it is he's unrepresented, and he wants to do a subject. I can't tell you all the terms.
Don't tell me the terms. Just tell me what do we got to do to.
We haven't signed on the dotted line yet.
Okay.
We do have an offer. It is over list.
Okay. It better be if it's a sub 2 deal. Gosh dang.
Yeah, exactly. And what do you call it? They're proposing a seller carry for X amount additionally. And then, let me see. They're unrepresented, and with a sub 2, I don't know enough about that stuff to be comfortable representing both sides. Okay. And the homeowner would definitely want that represented by an individual a different individual.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like someone representing you, someone
Okay.
representing him. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Can I give a couple suggestions?
Sure.
Okay, so we could go through the best title company for Subto deals. It's called Creative Title and Escrow. And there's an attorney on staff that would be happy to talk to your seller about any questions they have. That's always nice because that attorney can walk through the process. They're here in Arizona, which is nice. The actual attorney is here in Arizona too, so that might help.
Okay.
If you need representation on my side, I could have representation on my side, but I could forego their commissions to your side.
What do you mean forego?
Well, let's say that your other buyer is unrepresented. The reason why they don't want to be represented is because they don't want to pay commissions, right?
Right, exactly.
So for me, I could have my wife. That seems pretty biased. I could have a different person that's on my team represent me. I've got multiple people that are licensed. And instead of me paying their commissions, let's say a point or 2 points, I just push the point or 2 points over on your side and I pay for that out of my down payment.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to do that paperwork-wise.
That's, well, good thing I got transaction coordinators. We could handle all that.
That's what I have one. I don't have to deal with all this stuff.
Yeah, we can handle that. Your TC and my TC could chat and we could figure it out.
Okay. Well, the other one isn't signed on the dotted line yet. So your question was, is it too late for you to send an offer over? No, it is not.
Okay.
How's that?
Love it. And your seller is getting ready to sign? Is it too, am I wasting my time?
No, not at all. I'm in the process of doing a reverse offer on Arizona forms currently right now as I speak.
Oh, well,
So-
why not just send the offer to me?
Because you have to send me an offer. That's kind of the way it works. I need a paper trail. I can't just have all this phone stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could always just send an email to me and say, this is what my seller would want. Who is representing you? I'll put them on the paperwork and we move forward. There's no reason to make it hard. Actually, there's 1,000 reasons to make it easy.
Right. Give me a verbal of what you propose. What are you offering so I can do the right thing and contact my client and get his input and see which direction he wants to go. You know, agents don't make decisions for their client.
Here's what I can tell you. I've been doing this game a long time. Mm-hmm. And going back and forth with clients never works. The best thing for me, I don't even care about cash flow. I don't care about the purchase price. What I care about is my depreciation. I need a tax benefit. I've got 6 weeks to buy a house so I can get tax benefits.
Okay.
And so the main thing I care about is what will work for your client, which is very rare and actually very unheard of with real estate agents. What you guys are used to is your buyers beating you guys up. Mm. If we want to play the game of beating up, we're both going to lose. If you just say, hey, Pace, this is what a client feels comfortable with. Here's the things that they need. We want somebody representing you on your side. If you can bump up my commissions and we can go through creative title, would you like me to send you a contract? And I'll say, heck yeah, here you go. It's as simple as that.
I'm so not used to this whole aspect. I've never worked with an unrepresented.
You remember when you'd never listed a house before in your life?
I've never done a subject to. No.
There was a moment in life where I'd never driven a car, I'd never ridden a bike, and I'd never walked steps. There's a first time for everything. Let's rock and roll.
Right. So what are you proposing? Also a subject to?
Yeah, sub 2 with seller carry. Tell me to match the equity terms that they're matching. Where my difference maker is, number one, I have 2,100 rentals in my property, in my portfolio. I can show validity as a buyer that I will never fall through. I can always come through for your seller. I will be.
Your payments are they managed through a servicer?
Yep, we go through. Depends on the type of house, but we go through a servicer. Servicer sends an email to your seller every single month, 5 days before the payment is due, so they know that the payments are being made. We go through a title company that basically primarily focuses on sub 2 and seller finance. I have a TC on my team that understands. We'll go through your Arizona standard contracts with just a couple of addendums, no big deal. and I'll bump up your commissions an extra point, and I'll pay for it out of my pocket.
That sounds interesting. What do you call it? Because it's subject to, my client still wants to run all the paperwork before he even makes a decision on this other one for the subject to by the attorney, because he's very leery already for the subject to. He's not like in foreclosure. He's not like desperate. You know what I mean? He wants to cover his
Can I
costs.
make a suggestion then? What I would do is I would introduce their attorney and my attorney together so they can chat.
Okay.
And I'll give you my attorney's information. I'll text it to you. You can just introduce them, and my attorney can say, I've represented Pace and his company on over 3,000 of these transactions. 1, I can speak to the credibility of the buyer. 2, here's my experience, because chances are your seller's attorney will know nothing about subject to.
All right. Well, I'm on the hunt. To be completely honest, I'm on the hunt to find a realtor that's a lawyer, a real estate attorney.
What if I gave you the attorney to the title company that I would propose we close through, and that attorney is acting as a disinterested third party and would chat with your client and you about it?
Okay, that would work for me.
Perfect.
It would have to work for my client.
Well, I'm sure it would. You're the man with the plan.
You know what? You know, it'd be so much more attractive.
What?
That he would go with, because it's less problems, is if you just wrote the offer and it was clean, better than this one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the equity that they're looking for?
What do you call it?
The seller carry.
Seller carry was 30, I think.
Okay, 30K, and
They were going to give him 20, and I can't tell you all the details.
well, you can tell me what your client is excited about.
Well, he's not really excited. He just wants it to be done.
Got it.
You know?
Okay. What is he open to being done around? Don't even bring up the other offer. What would help him get over the fence?
I don't know.
Is it 30K as a carry with a payment? 30K with a balloon? What gets him excited?
It was with a payment and a balloon.
Okay.
And in the shortest amount of terms, and probably the highest amount of payment, like anybody would probably want.
Yeah.
And then highest offer.
Was the seller wanting something like $300 a month, $400 a month? What gets him over the fence?
That wasn't even discussed exactly what he wanted and what he didn't want, as far as I was concerned.
Well, we can make this easy. So here's can I tell you why I like these houses? Because it'll give you an understanding of how this benefits me.
Okay.
When I buy a house like this, I typically will save somewhere around $60,000 in real taxes, like this year. Okay, the depreciation on this one house will save me $60,000. So I'm motivated for that. That's my motivation. So and I'm showing you my cards. So if you tell me what your seller's motivation is, we might as well make the deal as easy as possible.
Right.
30K seller carry. If the seller hasn't talked about their payments, would it make sense for us to ask them, hey, I've got a buyer on the line. He has a great attorney suggestion that's a disinterested third party. He's got great representation and a good track record of 11 years that we can verify. He wants to know what's the payment that would get you excited and what's the balloon that would get you excited. Would that be a good place for us to start?
Yeah, that would be great.
Because here's the thing, if I tell you a number, whatever number I tell you, he's going to say no.
Right. Maybe. Yeah.
So it's like, here's the way I look at it. If I go up to a girl and go, will you go on a date with me to this Thai restaurant?
Right.
She's going to be like, I'm allergic to the spices in Thai food. Gosh, dang it. Well, I should have just asked you, where do you want to go to eat?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm just asking you where your seller wants to go to eat so we can just go right there.
Well, let me call him and find out.
Let's do that.
Because he'll be glad for it to be easier too. So.
Okay, cool. Let's make it easy. I'm here. Just shoot me a text. Let's get a deal done today.
All right.
You're the man.
Right.
And by the way, why don't we do like 100 of these?
Huh?
Why don't we do like 100 of these? You know how many expired listings I could be buying, and you got access to all the expired listings.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it all day long.
Let's go.
Yeah, well then, let's do it.
Oh, Monica says you have another house. Should we even waste our time on that one? Let's get this deal done.
I do have another house. It's been on the market a while.
Okay.
And they have a lot of equity in it. So that's why this, you guys, whole business model doesn't quite work with it, because they, only owe like 107,000, and the house lists at 439 right now.
And they wouldn't sell or finance their equity?
Well, I never asked them that.
Well, why don't you throw a weird offer? Like, hey guys, I got a weird offer. I've got a really credible buyer that said he'd pay at the number you're looking for, but he would like to make payments for a couple of years. Would you be open to having a conversation with him?
Okay. I'll call them too.
Cool. Let's rock and roll. Let's focus on deal 1, and then we'll jump onto deal 2, and then we'll jump onto deal 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. Tell me that attorney's name at Creative Title. All righty. Thank you. Appreciate you.
No doubt. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
I remember now, Monica.
She thought I'm sitting here with my team, and she's like, what the heck, he forgot me? I guess I'm not that memorable.
No, you just totally caught me off guard here.
It's all good.
It's all good.
We got through it.
All right, we did. All right, I'll contact him now.
Okay, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, talk to you.
How good was that call?
How could he forget me?
That was
He
amazing.
can't forget you.
It was weird and
The guys,
weird
I
and good.
cannot tell you how good that call was. I'm just toot my own horn. Hold on a second. Hold on. Bing. Like, that was good. Well, he's like, yo, just give me an offer. Just give me an offer. Just write it down and send it to me. I'm like, well,
He told me the other offer. He told me it was 310, and he said it's listed at 289.
Yeah.
He told me that, and then he forgot all about me.
we should only be talking to people that are drunk. That's what I'm learning.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the reason you didn't want to focus on the other deals because you were so overwhelmed with the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
A confused mind says,
No.
right.
Guess what? That's what they're saying in the side chat. Like he's got.
Yeah, that is honestly, great job, Monica. Great job. Like, you could do this all day, couldn't you?
I'm ready to make 100 more calls. I've been calling all day and all night.
So great, dude. It's so fun, especially when you see like where the lead came from. You set the appointment, then you get to this point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this business so much. Also, it's really, I've never done this before. Well, good thing you never stop. You never stop when you learn how to walk and drive a car and speak English. So just a little analogies go a really long way with people, as you guys can tell. Gosh, if I could just bottle these calls up, put them in a time machine and send them back to myself 12 years ago and go, bro, it's going to be just fine. Yeah. You're going to be so, and not even 12 years ago. Honestly, I was this good 9 years ago. Like, it does not take 12 years to get this good. It just doesn't. I've been doing it 12 years, but even like the last couple of years, I have made less calls the last 2 years. Man, I can't even tell you. Like, I don't call for my own business anymore. We have our own flow. We have our own acquisition people. Like, I'm not in the flow. I'm not doing this business that often. You go from being an entrepreneur, right, where all of you guys are right now solopreneurs. Then you go to an entrepreneur. What's an entrepreneur? Somebody who goes from, it's me, myself, and I am a solopreneur to now I have one employee. Now you're an entrepreneur. Then you become a business owner when you can step away at least one day a week and the company still runs. That's now I'm an owner. I can start buying back some of my time. And so I got to that point 5, 6, 7 years ago, to a point where I don't need to show up and the company still makes money, which is nice. This is Pace. I'm sorry I'm calling you late.
No, you're fine.
Cool. I'm just hanging out with my team. We're having tacos, having a good day. What are you up to?
Just catching up on paperwork.
Oh my gosh. Are you doing are you doing all the TC stuff on your own files?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Isn't it amazing how the TC side of things takes more time than anything else?
Yeah, but I'm
crazy.
used to it. I've been doing it a long time. So
Love
I
it.
don't really mind. Yeah.
So you've got this deal in Marina.
Yes.
How's that listing going? Did you see our offer? Are we crazy? Is there any way we can do a deal?
I didn't see your offer. No, I did not.
Okay.
On that one.
Okay. Did you see our offer on a different one? Is that why my team got me on the phone with you?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And then I mentioned this one. Yeah.
Okay, tell me
That
about this one then.
one's kind of been saying, well, it's, the house, it's got good bones, 2,300 square feet, but it needs like a whole house paint and the flooring needs to be redone.
Okay.
We've cleaned it up. We, has a nice backyard. It'd be a good little rental, or a fixer-upper.
Okay.
But, we got the price just slightly under 400.
Okay.
And,
It sounds like it's a
but we're
vacant
motivated
house.
to sell it. Yes, it is.
Okay, and at 400, is your seller willing to do any sort of seller finance or anything like that?
He'd prefer not because the owner, it's in a trust and he just recently passed away. And so the son is taking it over.
So he's like, give me my money.
Well, and because they pulled him out of the house to take him back up to Portland, Oregon because he had to go into hospice. So they have some medical bills they need to pay off too.
Makes sense, okay. At 400, here's the tough thing, and I'm sure you already know this because you've been in the business a long time. At 400, I'm going to go out and get a DSCR loan, and my DSCR loan is going to be 6.5% to 7%, and it would not cash flow.
Okay.
So at 400, it hurts. I mean, I could do. That's a tough thing. The interest rates are killing all these deals. On this 400K deal, is there a point I should follow up and say, hey, let's talk about seller finance a little bit more seriously? Is there a point maybe in a month, 2 weeks, that you think the seller would be a little bit more open to that thought process?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe, we can get after Thanksgiving and then maybe, we're getting into crunch time to get it closed by the end of the year.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I will probably not be the one that follows up. It'll probably be Myron or somebody else on my team. But I'm going to tell them to check in with you a week after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And just remember me as
Can you email me?
Heck yeah.
Can you email me?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Make it easy. I use my email as like a CRM too, so I'm sure you'd maybe do the same thing.
Okay.
And just remember us as the weird creative finance people. We want to do seller finance. We'll get you the 400. We'll get your commissions paid, but we want to give the seller payments over time. There's 1,000 different ways we can structure that, which means we could give them a little bit of money now, maybe even give them a big chunk of money in 5 to 7 years, something along the lines. But we'll check in at 1 week after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Perfect. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're awesome. Thank you.
What was your name again?
My name is Pace, P-A-C-E, Pace.
Okay, I'm going to plug you in my
Cool.
phone.
Yeah, a lot of people just type me in as Pace the Weirdo.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I like that.
What was her name?
What I would do is set a follow-up in the CRM. This is when I'm working my actual business, which I'm not working an actual business right now. I'm working a practice business. I mean, this is real, obviously. But I'm working a practice business that this is not my business. These are not my leads. I'm helping, I'm doing, and I'm participating. But after Friday, I disconnect, right? Because I have my own acquisition company and all that kind of stuff. For this team, this should be a follow-up for a week after Thanksgiving, and the follow-up should be, hey, is your seller getting closer to being open to sell on seller finance? And that is such a valuable lesson for a lot of people because we haven't been talking about follow-up because honestly, every one of our deals have been like, send a contract. Send a contract, send a contract, send a contract. It's been a lot of send your contracts. Where's my contract? It is interesting, the thought process of going from, I don't know where leads come from, to, oh my gosh, agents are begging us to send over contracts. This one, her seller says, well, I don't know if he's interested. What does that mean? Well, why, I ask. Well, because it's in a trust, somebody passed away, somebody's inheriting the property, they have to pay for hospice, totally get that, that makes a lot of sense. So I tell people there's only a few reasons why somebody won't sell to you on seller finance. Number one, you did not explain it to them properly and they do not understand the benefits. That's number one. Number two, they actually need the money for something. They actually do. And that's why I always ask, why? 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 And she told me why. And then the third reason why is because they have no motivation. Sometimes sellers just don't have any motivation. Those are the only three reasons why I see somebody would not sell to you on seller finance. There's no logical reason when they actually understand it. In this situation, I think the seller does not even know that people are pitching seller finance to this agent. I think she's just like, no, I don't think they're really interested. What did we talk about yesterday in day 3 was when an agent says, I don't think, that means they don't know how to pitch and how to explain seller finance to somebody. And so the best thing to do is say, in that situation, there's just certain types of personality types where I'll go, should I fight with that agent? I'm sorry, let me take that back. Try and utilize this time on the phone with her to overcome that objection of, I don't think you're explaining this to your seller. I don't think you've presented this to your seller. Should I take my time and energy to do that today? No. I should be super friendly, super polite. Most of our contracts that we're doing take 13 touch points anyway. Call, text, email, text, whatever, and then you get a contract. So I know I'm not going to close her down in one call. She still has to call her seller. There's all this stuff going on. And so I could tell she did not want to explain or listen to me. Do you guys ever hear somebody's tone when they're like, I'm okay listening to you right now, but I'm not really excited about staying on the phone with you? Yeah. You guys can feel that tone, right? And so I could feel that tone a little bit of like, I really don't care whether this house sells or not. I'm not really in a high motivation because my seller it's a clinical transaction. We're not getting a lot of activity. My seller's a little bit, hard to get a hold of because it's the son of the such and such. She's not in it. She's not super in this deal. And so the best thing for me to do is go, perfect, let me follow up with you. When's the best time to follow up with you? Put her in the follow-up and go, hey, why? Because the number one best negotiating tool of all time, is it a silver tongue? Is it storytelling? Is it objection handling? What is the best sales tool? Time. And number 2, the market telling you that the deal, it's not a deal. You guys ever tried to push a rope? Think about it. Put a rope on the ground in a straight line and push it. What happens?
You get nowhere.
It gets bundled up. But if you can pull it, okay, so I could feel that anytime I was going to be in that call, I could feel the dynamic is that I was pushing a rope. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull back. And then I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'll just check back in with you. And I pulled off the call. That's the best thing to do. There's the superpower, adjusting to the individual. And it's hard, but guess what? You learn hard things, you freaking dominate, right? Why did Steph Curry dominate the NBA and why does he still dominate the NBA? Because he shoots a three-pointer 18 feet behind the freaking three-point line. Nobody can guard him. So now what happened is it took about 5 years for people to catch on to what he was doing. And then kids in high school started doing it. And those kids in high school graduated college. Then finally those kids in college graduated. Now they're in the NBA. And now the game of NBA is all behind the three-point line. Okay, so why am I saying that is that these skills and these strategies can be picked up as I'm explaining them to you. They can be picked up in a way where you can learn them, participate in them, and then within 12 months you're like, oh my gosh, I know Kung Fu.